We attended a friend's housewarming party when I stepped outside to take a call. A few minutes later, I quietly returned and overheard someone asking my girlfriend whether she would accept a marriage proposal from me. Her laughter echoed in my ears as she responded in a way that felt like a devastating blow. "Oh no," she said. "I'm not trying to marry someone like him. He's fine for now, but that's it." I was left speechless, turning around and leaving without a word. She didn't even notice my absence until later when others began to look for me. Now, 3 days later, she is pleading for me to marry her before we even consider restarting our relationship. I haven't made a decision yet, but I want to express my gratitude for your presence during this time. It means more than you can imagine, especially when you've spent most of your life feeling inadequate. Hearing someone confirm that sentiment, particularly someone you trusted, resonates deeply. I grew up in the foster care system. My mother succumbed to addiction when I was 8, and my father was never part of my life. By the time I turned 17, I had lived in 11 different homes, learning early on not to form attachments. Nothing was permanent, not homes, not people, and certainly not love. Despite the challenges, I managed to finish high school, secure a scholarship to a community college, work 2 jobs, and earn a degree in social work. Now at 32, I run a non-profit organization that assists foster youth in transitioning to independent living. The work is meaningful and impactful, yet it doesn't pay much. I drive an old car, rent a modest apartment, and shop at thrift stores. Not because I'm struggling financially, but because my past has taught me to be prudent. 2 years ago, I met Sabrina through mutual friends. She works in pharmaceutical sales, adorned in designer heels, frequenting airport lounges, and earning substantial commissions. On paper, we seemed an unlikely match, yet we connected on a deeper level. She was drawn to my story, calling my work inspiring. For the first time, I felt truly seen, not in spite of my background but because of it. People doubted our relationship. They whispered that I was merely a phase for her charity case. I tried to ignore the comments, but they struck a familiar chord within me. Nevertheless, my relationship with her felt genuine. She introduced me to her friends, took me home to meet her parents, and kept a toothbrush at my apartment. We talked about a future together, possibly even children. Last Saturday, at my friend Troy's housewarming party, Troy, whom I met in the foster system during our teenage years, I felt proud of his accomplishments. He had started a construction company and just bought his first home. The party was lively, filled with a mix of Troy's business acquaintances and friends from our past. Sabrina was her vibrant self, effortlessly socializing. Around 9 p.m., I stepped outside to take a call from one of the kids in my program who was locked out of his apartment. After promising to bring him the spare key, I re-entered through the side door to inform Sabrina I would be stepping out for a bit. As I walked through the kitchen, I overheard voices from the dining room. Sarah, Troy's girlfriend, asked Sabrina if she would say yes if I proposed. Sabrina's laugh followed, one I used to adore. "Ew, no," she exclaimed, her voice slightly lowered but still audible. "I'm not trying to marry someone like him. He's fine for now, but that's it." Another woman, Kim, questioned her. "But you've been together for 2 years. Don't you think he's expecting something?" Sabrina replied, "Jack is sweet, and sure, his overcoming adversity is admirable, but let's be real. He'll always be scraping by. His idea of a vacation is camping. He gets calls from his kids at all hours. It's fine for a while, it gives you perspective. But to marry him and live like that forever? No way." I stood frozen, her words crushing me. I felt the small velvet box in my pocket, the ring I had saved for 6 months, waiting for the perfect moment to propose. Clearly, that moment would never arrive. Without confronting her, I simply walked out, assisted Marcus with his apartment issue, and drove home in silence. That night, my phone buzzed with missed calls from Sabrina, Troy, and Sarah, but I turned it off. By morning, I had 17 missed calls and numerous texts, some annoyed, some concerned, and others angry. I finally replied, "I heard what you said at Troy's. I need space." Sabrina called immediately, but I didn't answer. She showed up at my place, waiting in the parking lot for hours. On Monday, I received more calls and messages from friends. I kept my responses brief. Yes, I'm okay. No, I'm not ready to talk. Then on Tuesday, I answered a call from an unfamiliar number. Sabrina's voice trembled as she rushed to speak. Jack, please don't hang up. I just left the doctor. I'm pregnant. My world shifted. She had taken 3 tests the day before, all positive, and the doctor confirmed it that morning. I know what you heard. I know it sounded terrible, but I need you right now. Please. We met at a coffee shop, a neutral space. She appeared far from her usual polished self. No makeup, messy hair, and red, swollen eyes. Before you say anything, she began. I know what I said was awful. I've been lying to you, to everyone, but mostly to myself. She explained her panic at the party, the pressure of all those eyes on her. I realized how deeply I loved her and feared she would come to see me as inadequate. My voice remained steady, but my hands trembled as I listened to her confess her fears. I was trying to protect myself. If I admitted how much I wanted a life with you and then lost you. Her voice faded, tears filling her eyes. Now you're pregnant, I said, bitterness seeping through. So now I'm marriage material. No, I mean yes, I'm pregnant, but that's not the reason. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small, weathered journal. This is from the past year. Read the page I marked. I opened it slowly to April 16th. Jack mentioned kids again today. The entry continued casually, suggesting it was a given that we would have children together. I couldn't help but smile. She had never wanted kids before, believing they would interfere with her career, but now she found herself envisioning a family with me. That was 2 months ago, she said softly. I have dozens of entries like that. I've loved you for longer than I could admit to you or myself. The pregnancy just forced me to stop pretending. I closed the journal and slid it back to her. I need time, I said. Later that night, I called Troy to find out what happened at the party after my departure. It was wild, he said. About half an hour after you left, Sabrina started showing everyone photos from your childhood, those old ones you keep hidden. She was proud of you and talked about wanting your kids to inherit your resilience. I was stunned. But where did she get those photos? She told everyone she had been scanning them to restore them, making a proper album since yours was falling apart. After our conversation, I checked my closet. The album was still there but different. Its worn cover had been reinforced with archival tape, and inside, each photo had been matched with a restored version, vibrant and repaired. There was a USB drive labeled Digital Backups, and a receipt from a restoration service dated 3 months prior. That Wednesday, I stood outside her apartment as she opened the door, nervous yet hopeful. I have questions, I said. We talked for hours about the photos, the party, the pregnancy, our backgrounds, and what shaped us. I need you to understand something, I finally told her. I've spent my whole life being seen as a charity case, a project, someone to pity or fix. I can't be with someone who views me that way. I don't see you that way, she replied. Those things I said came from fear, not my heart. But that fear was rooted in something real. We're different, I stated. My work doesn't make me wealthy. Those kids will always be my priority. I know, she said quietly. That's why I want to raise a child with you, because you care more about people than material things. I pulled out the ring box. Her eyes widened in surprise. I was going to propose at Troy's party. I had it all planned. Please don't give it to me now, she said, tears streaming down her face. Not today. Not yet, I replied. We have things to work through. I understand, she whispered. But I want this child. I want to build something real with you, I said gently. Something rooted in who we are, not who we think we should be. That was a week ago. We are moving slowly, and she is staying at my place while we navigate our situation. She experiences morning sickness daily, and I silently hold her hair back. We've begun seeing a counselor. I'm still healing and uncertain, Yet watching her dive into parenting books and schedule doctor's appointments with the same fervor she used to pitch campaigns reveals a new side of her. Last night, I found her scanning more of my old photos, treating each one as if it were fragile and precious. "Why are you doing this?" Yes. She didn't look up. "Because you keep every memory, even the painful ones. You taught me that they matter, even the ugly parts, especially those. I just wanted to help preserve them. I don't know what the future holds. I can't say if the hurt will subside or if I will ever fully trust her again. But yesterday, when one of my kids called at 2 a.m. needing a ride out of a tough situation, she grabbed her keys saying, 'You look tired.' Maybe that's a sign of progress. Not a perfect ending or a grand fairy tale, but a beginning, a genuine step towards something honest, built from who we are rather than who we pretended to be."